Hi everyone. So today or the next few days, we're going to be discussing the 5-1 profile in human design. So what does that mean? How do you get your profile type? So you go from the conscious and subconscious sun and earth and your body graph. And when you look at this chart right here, you can see where that's located. So you look at the first two numbers of the hexagram that it's related to, and then you look at the second two numbers and the line that it's related to, and that gives you your profile type. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the 5-1 profile, and then we're going to talk about some of the severities in operating at your highest or lowest self that I have dealt with. And then we're going to take it on the next few videos and breaking down this chart of someone who was operating severity in their lower self and how you can prevent that from being you. Yes, your chart would not be the exact same, but you'll be able to have certain things that you may resonate with that are in your chart that can help you be the best version of yourself and not have some of the discrepancies and hardships as the individual in this body graph. But this person did start to get better, did start to self evaluate, and it's a process. It's a process. It's an understanding in this development and this experiment of human design, because these are ancient practices. This is ancient sciences balled up into one. The newest aspect of human design is the understanding of a mutation of going from a 7-center being to a 9-center being. So it's still experimental to see if that's true, right? So far, human design has been very on point. I'm definitely able to see it within my clients, see it within myself as being accurate. Again, when you come across these things, whether if it's astrology, human design, different forms of esoterics, it's not telling you creating who you are. You already are who you are. What happens is, as you start to bust these things down, it helps you have better understanding of who you are, of your natural strengths and weaknesses, and it's undeniable. Then you're able to go from there to utilizing those strengths, to working on those weaknesses, and operating as your best self to get less resistance in life and live more abundantly, more fulfilled. Okay, so let's talk about it. So the 5 hexagram is about patience. It's about strength through stillness. It's about the strength and perseverance and not being like led astray from situations and not rushing into things. The example given in the story behind that I Ching hexagram is the example of a fisherman. And how the fisherman can only put his line out and wait for the bite. And the level of strength that takes. And then you have the one that's all about, in this particular hexagram, that's all about, again, not rushing, not being over, like overly going, and having the eyesight to see ahead, to be able to strategize, because you know stillness, you know strength, you know patience. So what happens is when you bring those two together, a person that has that for them and that lives in that, and that is a part of their strength, this becomes a very wise person. This is a wise person that has all of this wisdom based on experience from taking their time, from having the strength to push through things, and from keeping to their path, understanding themselves and keeping to their path. And what makes them a good leader is because now they can lead off of experience. They can lead from their wisdom. They don't have to say too much. They don't have to do too much. And what these people have a good gift of doing is when people come to them or come into their life, they can automatically see from a different viewpoint and can help guide people down their path and purpose. because they can see it from a different light. They can see it from a place of stillness. They can see it from a place of having to have been patient with themselves and in their own walk, and to not rush into things and be knocking their head around all the time. But this is where you have to be mindful, because with 5-1s kind of can mess up at, or if they're not operating in their stillness, if they did not go through that process and they were a person that's rushing in and that's not their strength, and they're missing the wisdom of it all, then what happens is, but you still have that leadership ability, people still are drawn to you automatically and looking to be led. What happens is, instead of just walking your walk and you automatically lead by your wisdom and by your walk and people believing in that, you're trying to force people to follow you for your goals, rather than seeing them as in their wholeness, guiding and giving them wisdom that inspires them to walk with you and see how they fit in and how that connects and enhances their path. You understand? Because what I see in the 5-1s is this: you end up running yourself super thin trying to please everybody, and trying to please everybody to make it make sense in the way that you see it and what you think they should do. And then what happens is you give up on just walking your path, and you get stuck in a state of wanting to lead because to say that you led, or to utilize other people and what they say they're interested in to be the backing of what you're doing, rather than letting it organically happen. So what that causes is, when it becomes severe, is you're wearing different masks, because you don't want people to walk away. So you start to become what they want to see and hear, so that they walk this path with you. So you're wearing many masks, and it can get so bad to where you forget who you are and the path that you originally wanted to walk, because you fused it with all of these wants and needs of all these people, and you're losing yourself in the process. It's okay to reflect. It's okay to have those moments by yourself. It's okay to say no. And you cannot be trying to control people's lives. If they are venting to you or telling you something, you're okay, you should do A, B, C, D, F, G. And they don't do that, that's their business. It's not for you to get to make it your life's purpose now to make sure that they follow through. They can change their mind tomorrow and feel like their purpose is something different. It doesn't matter what you can see. That's their life. Don't try to maneuver and manipulate their life for your path or for your mindset. Walk your path. Don't devote to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, based on something they've been into you and what you feel like you can see is your life. Make sure you remember who you are, and you're not putting up a bunch of masks to manipulate people or to help maneuver people so that you can survive. Because that's what happens. Because you know that you're a leader. You do operate well with groups. You do operate well with guiding people and leading people. You can't force it. You cannot force it. You cannot be being what you feel like they need you to be or see to feel comfortable. Because the 5-1s have a very sensitivity in letting people see them. And then you're trying to lead people and you want them to go down a certain path that you want them to go down. So now you're wearing different masks. And that's dangerous. Because if you are not just walking your path in peace and strength and perseverance and keeping to it, gaining the wisdom along the way, you'll lose yourself in the process. But if you do just walk that walk, what'll happen You just look around one day and you'll have a community of individuals that are in support of that walk. They resonate with you. They respect the knowledge. They respect the wisdom. It doesn't have to be a forced situation. One of the greatest quotes I ever saw was, or read was, a true leader doesn't ask others to follow. They just walk and people follow. Now they're a leader. That's the 5-1 at their best. So in these next few videos, we're going to utilize this particular body graph. I'm going to pull it up right here. And I know a lot of you guys' body graph don't look exactly like this one, or maybe, have a lot of differentiations. This is a person with a solar plexus authority, and you can see right here where their defined centers is, where their open centers are. So this person, not understanding themselves, not understanding themselves. You have to understand, when it comes to human design, when it comes to astrology, when it comes to these ancient practices, it's not creating who you are. It's almost like a cheat sheet of understanding. Because when you go through these things, when you start to study these things, it's not like something you didn't know. It's better understanding of why it is, and helping you operate more in your strengths than your weaknesses. It's not like, oh, is that for real? And you start to condition yourself to believe in these things. No. As it starts to bust down, you know it's you. Now, what aspect of you do you want to operate in? So I'm going to utilize this body chart from an old client of mine, who I can't diagnose because that's not my scope of practice. I'm not a psychiatrist or in that field in that sense, a doctor in that sense. But the mask wearing and trying to please other people to convince them to lead, this person had about 3 distinctive personalities that they had cultivated over a long time period to survive. I could literally tell that they cultivated them so long because each one had their time to shine to help this person survive over time and to manipulate situations so that they can lead. Because they didn't trust in just leading the right people based on them just walking their walk and doing them, and people gravitating to that and supporting it. They took the time to finesse because they can see people's purposes. They can see their skills. And they're like, okay, so I can just use you for this, but I don't know how to inspire you. So let me tell you this. Let me give you this because it seems like you respond to this. So now they have different personalities to deal with different people in different walks of life, and lost their purpose. I'm listening to the person talk, and not only is the more information that they bring out that has different standings on life, that conflicts and contradicts itself, because the 3 different personalities are from 3 different cultures of life, 3 different walks of life. So all the information that they have coming through now is not even, it doesn't even make sense for one individual to be saying these things. They became a pocketbook narcissist. Now, I don't just throw around that word. I did some some thorough research on narcissistic it's a social disorder, social personality disorder. And any person that operates in that, it's like pocketbook. It's in black and white. And what it normally stems from is some form of trauma that they went through in their life, or neglect at a very delicate state in their development. And they either they felt so small or so weak to where they had to create a person and cultivate that person to never feel like that person again. And they have to feel like this person is perfect. That image is what they live for. They were protected with anything they have because they never want to be that person that felt weak in whatever way that was. And they almost like block it out as if a non-existence rather than dealing with it. So they do the what is it called? They'll try to make you sound crazy. They'll try to make you feel crazy. Don't take accountability. If they are in a conversation and it doesn't seem like they're on the right side of the conversation, they'll switch around the whole conversation so that they're in your position rather than theirs. They do the smear campaign and be ahead of anything that's against their image. It's a lot that comes with it. But it's a disorder. It's a distance from order. So let's look at this body graph over these next few videos so that you can be ahead of this happening to you. 5-1. And if you have any likeliness of this body graph, then you will be able to benefit from these videos to come. Okay? So that's information for today, and then we'll be dropping videos over the next week. Over the next week, and really busting this down. Because I want to help you help yourself. Okay? Peace and love. Talk to you soon. Bye.